Fantasy Draft, the only rake-free daily fantasy site, brings the heat again with a $500,000 guaranteed rake-free contest, the Hooters main event. This is the largest and only rake-free contest of its kind you'll find for Week 5. And remember, only on Fantasy Draft are 100% of the entry fees paid to contested winners. Sign up at FantasyDraft.com with referral code WBOZ, and you'll get a free 7-day trial membership.
Ironic Radio proudly presents Daily Fantasy Sports, Fantasy Foreplay, powered by DailyFantasyLines.com.
Over the middle, he is caught. That's the rookie A.J. Brown. He's still going. Brown's on the wheels to the 10 to the 5. And he's in for the touchdown. Third and 2. Rosen looking underneath. Nothing there. He's going to the outside. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Dolphins. After an 18-yard touchdown pass, it's an end around. It goes off to Trevor Davis with the blocker ahead. He's got Miller. He got a block from Waller. He's going to take it in for the touchdown. The deep man dealing with a hamstring issue, and it's blocked. Well, Horkins could not get it off cleanly, and the Patriots got it. Blocked by Miller at the left tackle to the end zone. Caught for a touchdown. Tyrell Williams. 3rd and 5. Or 2:30 left in the half. Mariota's pass far side. It's caught. It's Davis, and he will stroll in for the touchdown. Second down, play fake to Thompson, and across the middle, and it's intercepted by Jabril Peppers. He will go to the end zone. Jackson completes that ball to Willie Snead, and Snead up the sideline. Snead looking for the end zone, and he'll get there. Here comes the set. Got through, needs the 42 downfield. Caught on the post. Eagle makes a touchdown. Blackwell, play fake. Trying to set up the screen to his tight end, Noah Fant. He's got some room to run. He cuts it back into 10. Fant takes it in. Todd Gurley has a hole. Todd Gurley with a first down. Gurley, he has a Ram touchdown. First and 15. Chubb. Chubb with running room. Chubb to the 40. On his way to the end zone. I don't believe what I just saw.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to DFS Fantasy Foreplay on this Week 7 breakdown. Joining me, as always, is Dan McClellan, Senior Staff Writer, Ironic Media, and my Statman Extraordinaire, one Mr. Webboy. Gentlemen, how are we? Welcome to the program.
Good. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing good. It's been a tough week around my house. So it just both my kids have been home 3 of the 5 days fighting stomach flu. So I feel like I'm going to be leaning on you guys maybe a little bit more than I am each week. I feel really good with the content and the article, but feel like the time that I had to devote this week just wasn't there as family came first.
Oh, hey, man. Family over first.
And that stomach bug thing is definitely going around. Without a doubt.
All right, gentlemen. Well, why don't we get right into it? We'll recap last week. I had all the pieces last week. Just didn't put them together. I mean, I ended up breaking even thanks to my cash games. Maybe like ahead a couple bucks, but not like the week before where I just set the world on fire. I mean, I literally cash games are the only thing that saved me last week.
I lost like $1 from my break-even point in DFS. I took a beating by not listening to my own advice when picking or letting you guys know what games I was planning on betting on. And I went for the over and unders on a lot of those games, and none of them covered.
So,
Yeah.
None of them covered.
None of them covered.
Oh.
None of them covered. So I took a bit of a beating there. Starting to make it back on the Yankees. But
last night's over helped you.
Yeah, that's about it. But yeah, I mean, it was a break-even week in DFS. I'll take that. I'll take that.
How about you, Dan? How'd it go over on the West Coast?
I was down a bit last week. Very similar to you. I had all the pieces, just didn't put them together consistently. The article lineup did cash, which was good, and I had Matt Ryan in another lineup that I put with Malcolm Brown, and I was all excited when I looked in about 10 minutes in the game and he had 4 points, but that's all he got was 4 points.
Dude, this dude rushed for 40-something yards on the first drive and ended the entire game with 40 yards.
Yep. And then I had Amari Cooper in that same lineup, and he had 1 reception for 3 yards, and Keenan Allen had 2 receptions for 33 yards. So, because Cooper got hurt. So, a bit of the injury bug and a bit of just not quite putting all the pieces together. So, thankfully, the article lineup cashed, so it wasn't that bad, but I feel like it could have been either really, really good or a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of players last week who expected to go off did not go off. We could get into the Hot Mess Express right now and just roll with that. And I'm going to lead this off with a quarterback who last year was Mr. Reliable and put up decent amount of points each week until his running back got injured in week 13, and then he became a dumpster fire, and it just seems like he is continuing with said dumpster fire, and that's when Mr. Jared Goff, who scored a whopping 1.1 points.
I think he's the captain of the Hot Mess Express and wearing like a big feather in that hat as he's leading the train. I think that's what I see with Goff.
I didn't even notice that.
Oh, look, you had one of your lineups did cash.
I did cash out in the $1 Million Maker. Or $500,000 maker. Didn't even know that. I'm looking and going, there can't be that much money in my account. How can that be? And that was with Matt Ryan.
Because Matt Ryan, week over week, is throwing for 300-plus yards.
Yeah.
Week over week, this man is throwing 300-plus yards.
Every week.
He had Austin Hooper, who put up a 28-burger.
Yeah, Nick Chubb.
Julio put up 21. That was a good stack last week.
It's what I said to you, right? It was definitely a good stack. I love it.
Also on the Hot Mess Express, I want to throw Robert Woods, who had a whopping 7.6 points, did nothing. We already talked about Malcolm, who did nothing and maybe hurt this week and not playing. Chris Thompson, a whopping 4 points, thanks for nothing. Amari Cooper went down hurt with I got a bump on my leg. I got to go sit down now. Welcome back to the Hot Mess Express. That's 2 weeks in a row, Amari.
But he's hurt. You can't put him on the Hot Mess Express.
You got a bump on the leg, bro.
He's hurt. He got hurt. He got boo-boo.
Yeah, he got boo-boo, exactly.
It was
so frustrating. He is the reason
take him out of the game. He's the reason why we all lost.
He is one of the reasons why none of my lineups cashed. Is him,
yes,
and wrong choice in QB.
Every lineup, including my yearly fantasy, with Amari Cooper in it, lost.
I somehow managed to win one of my season-long leagues with Goff as quarterback.
Oh God, there's another fight.
I didn't. I got smoked by 60 points.
He's horrible. My Hot Mess Express is the same as last week. Every goddamn tight end in the league except 4. That's it.
Yeah. Hooper.
Yes.
I'm going to pick on your team, Steve, and you're feel free to pick on the Chargers because they're a complete Hot Mess Express themselves. But the Packers, I don't know what to do. I'm just avoiding them in DFS because of the wide receivers are all banged up. I have no idea who's going to get the ball. You have Aaron Jones who goes off against the Cowboys, and then he comes back and has 11 carries for 47 yards.
Well, he
and 4 receptions for 13 yards. So I don't know what to expect from Aaron Jones from week to week.
Well, they're playing the hot hand A, and B, he had a fumble which was ugly, which was just downright terrible. You had in the first half of the game, you had Valdez-Scantling go out. He managed to come back and play. He's questionable this week, may not play.
Crap.
You got Geronimo Allison, who got his head taken off on helmet-to-helmet contact and laid the dude out. I'd be surprised if he's back in 2 to 3 weeks. So who does that leave you with? Jake Kumaro, Alan Lazard, and a kid named Shepard. One of them's a journeyman, and the other 2 are essentially rookies. Nobody. So Lazard stepped up. He's probably going to be a primary target. He's got it. Obviously, has Aaron Rodgers' faith, and at least Rodgers feels he can throw him the ball, and he'll create space and do what he needs to do to get yards. We can bring him up later. He is on my list of if you need to punt someplace, you can go and get him. Aaron Jones, the backfield. I'm with you. I don't know what to make of it. You would have figured they would have fed Jones, but it turned out to be Jamal Williams. This week it could be Aaron Jones. I mean, that's the problem where it's kind of like the same problem New Orleans had last year between Ingram and Kamara, except Peyton used them in two different cases, but in the same case, and it seems like Green Bay hasn't quite figured out how to go to a 2 running back set and freak the defense out.
They need to do that.
I mean, if they did that with those 2 weapons, those are 2 highly talented backs.
Yeah.
It would be destruction, especially with a quarterback of Aaron Rodgers' caliber. But I'm with you. I'll take the entire Jets defense and put them on the Hot Mess Express after we were all like, yeah, go all in on Jets, 3rd best defense in the league. Yeah, 1 point, thanks. But you got your win against the Cowgirls.
Well, you told you can thank New Orleans for that. So can the Jets. They should be writing them thank you letters.
And they should thank Green Bay and New Orleans, and every team after this should thank the Jets, Green Bay, and New Orleans.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anybody they want to throw on a Hot Mess Express? If not, we can get into breaking down this week.
Every tight end in the league.
You said that.
They're all a hot mess. It's like all of a sudden the tight end just non-existent.
Well, you can't put Kittle there either.
Like I said, 4 guys.
Well, who are your 4 guys that are not there?
Eckler, Kittle.
Eckler's not a tight end.
Not Eckler. Hooper. Kittle.
Uh-huh.
Hooper.
Uh-huh.
Kittle.
Okay, so 2 tight ends.
No, I said him twice. That's 4.
What about Hunter Henry after his performance last week? You
can't.
All interested in?
I mean, Travis Kelce was horrible.
Kelsey's been hard. Kelce is not worth his money.
Well, I think the bigger problem there is the quarterback who can't seem to throw the ball. Oh, well, we don't have to worry about that for 4 more weeks.
3 weeks, they're saying minimum.
Wrong, and I'll tell you why it's 4.
They're saying 3 minimum.
Yeah, well, they're saying 3, and I'll tell you.
Until the MRI's done, and it could be much longer.
I'll tell you why it's 4, okay? Because if it is 3, and he's slated to come back, that's the Mexico game. And then a bye week, then the Mexico game? Oh, Mexico game's on a bye week.
They already had their bye week.
Is it? Okay. He's not going to make that trip to play that game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Not going to happen. It's 4 weeks.
All right, where do we want to start off this week? How we all feeling? Quarterback, running back, wide receiver.
I think there's a pretty good running back core out there of guys who have already produced. They're in great matchups that really aren't that expensive to plug in, and then pick what wide receivers you want.
I like
and I think there is some debate at quarterback, and we talked about Goff, and you go, wow, do you trust him this week? They actually have the highest projection at 29 points against the Falcons' atrocious pass defense. And then on the other side of the ball, of course, you have Matt Ryan, who's thrown for 300 yards every game.
They also have
I've been looking at a lot at Dak Prescott against the Eagles at home, and I wish last week, Steve, that you had convinced me on Kirk Cousins. You put up a really good pitch, and I thought it was a strong argument. You just didn't put me over the top. But, man, if we played Kirk Cousins last week against the Eagles, we would have been cashing big time.
The lineups I did cash in my cash games had Kirk Cousins as the
and he's
QB.
Another hot hand this week against Detroit.
All right. There's 2 guys that I'm on this week.
Yeah.
Josh Allen,
Yeah,
Buffalo.
okay. Yeah.
And Jared Goff, because that over-under that game is 54.5.
Not even you couldn't convince me.
Everybody is go in, go after. You just go after Atlanta's defense.
Everybody is saying that they're going to lose that game because they suck.
Hey, I'll take the no ownership. I'll take the sub 10% ownership in a GPP. I'll take that. I'll take that all day. But on the flip side of that coin, I also see a play for Matt Ryan, who's thrown 300 yards
Every game.
every game.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up Josh Allen, because one of the wide receivers I hit on as an alternative play in the article was Cole Beasley, who doesn't have a TD this year, but he's quietly putting together a very solid season with 27 receptions for 267 yards in 5 games. So he's getting plenty of targets, and he's facing Jamal Wiltz, who has the worst stats in the league as a cornerback. He's the 55% catch rate isn't horrible, but he's giving up 28.4 yards per reception and 3.5 points per target. So, if you're going to go an Allen Beasley stack, both of those are going to be incredibly low owned, and I think you're going to have money to be able to go up and get the stud players you want elsewhere.
I just like I like Allen's price point this week.
What's his price point?
12.3.
I give you guys going to do this exact same thing and probably throw for 3 touchdowns at half that.
You're not going to give it to me at half.
Kyler Murray. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to give it to you at half.
You're going to save me $2,000 maybe.
Yeah, okay. I was looking over here. Where's Kyler over here? I can't get my mouse on that screen. Interesting. There we go. Where's Kyler Murray? What's his numbers?
Kyler Murray's going to be up at the top.
I don't think so. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay. Oh, okay, 13-1.
13-1. So he's more expensive than Josh Allen by
I'm sorry. I was looking at the numbers over here, and that's DraftKings at 67.
Don't get me wrong. Kyler Murray is in a good spot too. I didn't get there yet.
Yeah, he's definitely in a good spot, and he'll have that 300-yard game again.
So here's the way you could really approach this week. You can approach this week by game stacking. You could go both sides of the ball. Whether you take Goff or you take Matty Ice, but as long as you get shares of both sides of that game and you pick the right shares, you're going to be good. Take any of the wide receivers from the Rams. You're going to be good to go. You don't need to take Goff. You can leave Goff where he is, but take a Brandon Cooks or take a 2 Cooper 1 Cup or take even Robert Woods, who has underperformed and is not going to have any ownership.
Yeah.
And he has the best matchup of the 3.
Exactly. Stay away from the backfield. Gurley practiced. He might come back, but that means nothing. Even though you always want to take the running back going against Atlanta because they just can't seem to figure that part out. And on the Atlanta side of the ball, Calvin Ridley is a good play. If you don't want to pay up for Julio, I think Devonta Freeman this week is a dynamite play, and he's cheap. And the other game that I would attack is the Giant Arizona game. Whether you want to take Kyler Murray or Danny Dimes, I can make an argument to play either one of them.
You don't like Fitzmagic this week?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Not even in a go-for-it lineup?
No. Because I would rather go and pay for Tannehill at the Titans because he's probably going to be even cheaper. Because it was already well known after Sunday of last week.
Same price, $10,000.
$10,000. So their base price there. Maybe other fantasy sites that there might be a price differential.
$10,000.
I think if you take those 2 games, like you take a Kyler Murray, David Johnson, and Larry Fitzgerald and Arizona defense, and take Saquon Barkley on the other side just to get a piece of that game.
See, that's where you take Daniel Jones too. It's a good matchup for him.
Or you take Daniel Jones, Golden Tate, or Daniel Jones, Evan Ingram, and you get your David Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald to get the other side of the ball.
Sure.
Like, I can see ways that you could game stack both of these games, and I don't think either one of them's wrong.
No, I agree.
I think it's a good way to actually approach this week because there's a lot of really good players at really affordable prices that you can put in there. There's a couple locks at positions. When it comes to quarterback, I've learned this season that there is no standout. Like, you need to play this guy, and this is the guy that everyone's going to be on. Because I can sit here and tell you right now, I can make an argument for Russell Wilson against the Ravens.
MVP.
I can make an argument to play him at 13.6K.
MVP.
I can also make an argument to go down and play Jacoby Brissett against Houston.
I like Brissett too. Actually, I was going to mention him. I do like Brissett in that game because it's a good matchup for him.
There is no clear cut. The 2 guys that I have found that I can build my lineups around and not leave a lot of money on the table and not go to that game stack theory or go to a game stack theory in a little bit is Goff, Allen, Matty Ice. 3 guys. Sorry. I think there's either way. Not to say I'm not going to go out and build some lineups with a Kyler Murray or a Danny Dimes. I'm probably going to lean more towards Murray just because he has the legs and he can be that dual threat kind of quarterback where you might get, that extra rushing yard. extra rushing yard points.
Yep. Just realized Dan mentioned Cole Beasley before. He's in one of my lineups this week, Dan.
Dan, anybody else you like besides Dak? I know I really didn't bring up Dak. I'm just, as much as I was on Dak in the beginning of the week when we were talking about it, and it makes sense, and going with the game theory of what Minnesota did when they played the Eagles last week, I get it. I understand it. I just see the Cowboys right now as just, they're in disarray. I mean, they can't seem to get out of their own way. They should have won the past 2 weeks. Clearly should have won the past 2 weeks.
But
I mean,
they're
the
still
only
putting
reason
points
why
on
they
the
didn't
board,
beat the
moving the
Packers
ball.
is
So.
the only reason why they didn't beat the Packers is the Packers got out to a 28-point lead.
Yep.
They should have beaten the Jets. The only reason why they didn't beat the Jets was the Jets showed up to play, and they said, "We're taking down Dallas. Fuck America's
Jets
team."
got their quarterback back, so that was a big deal.
And
My only concern about Matt Ryan, and hey, if we end up with Ryan, I'm happy with it. Guys, who else is throwing for 300 yards every game? Nobody. So there's something to be said about Matt Ryan in the game that has the highest over-under of the week. Is that none of the Rams quarterbacks have allowed over 1.5 fantasy point per target.
But they also just traded 2 of their cornerbacks. They traded one of them to the Rams, and they traded the other one someplace else.
I can't put any faith in Dak this week.
They brought in Jalen Ramsey, but is he going to be up to speed and ready to go, or are they just going to put him out there as a ball hawk?
Right, I have no idea.
And zone ball hawk. Let him just attack people.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have much faith in unless I don't see what the Rams see, and the whole reason why they got rid of their high-priced cornerbacks to be able to bring in Ramsey and give away 2 number 1 picks and whatever the hell they did to make that happen.
3 picks, 2 number 1s. And
is beyond me. I mean, that's just insane to me. That's a very high price for one player who one wrong turn on the wrong piece of turf and is done for 2 seasons because he blows his ACL.
Yep.
Or gets disgruntled.
Right. And throws a temper tantrum and holds out, however it may be. You were just saying you can't get behind Dak. I'm willing to listen to this argument.
I can't get behind Dak. His numbers are constantly going down week over week. The only games he's looked good in are against, week 1, 2, and 3, against 3 of the shittiest teams in the league.
He did show up against Green Bay.
He beat up
just
on the
too late.
He beat up on the Giants for 405 yards, week 1.
I do think it's significant. It looks that Amari Cooper practice day. It looks like he's going to play, and I think adding that Cooper back into the weapons there. I still really like Michael Gallup at his price, but I think that helps just allow the offense as a whole to open up and flow better.
Dak's passer rating just keeps going down and down. I mean, okay, granted, Green Bay, he put up 463 yards. I'll give him that. For 29 points. How do you put up 400 yards for 29 points? You put up 405 against the Giants, scored 36 fantasy points. Yeah, you had 4 touchdowns. In Green Bay, you couldn't find it. Couldn't find the end zone. Couldn't find anything. Played against the Jets, looked like shit. 18 points.
It'd be interesting to look at his splits because he is at home.
Eagles.
The Eagles, whose secondary is 32nd in the league.
Who's still going to win
Bottom
that division. Unless the Giants can turn it all around. I mean, they are only 1 game out.
If the Giants can get healthy, the only thing that's going to stop the Giants from doing anything long-term is their defense.
And their entire coaching staff.
Well, that's besides the point.
And front office.
That's besides the point.
But I just...
All right, conviction play. So I want to do something different this week. We're going to each pick a player as we go through our breakdown.
Yeah.
And we're going to track who our player is and what points they score.
Right.
And then we'll end up at the end with a running back, a quarterback, a wide receiver, and a tight end, and a defense. Well, you keep track of who you chose, and they tally the points. And next week we'll see whose conviction play was the best. All right.
Who had the Hawkeye?
All right.
Okay.
So Webby, I'll throw it to you first. Who is your quarterback conviction play this week that you're gonna write down and you're gonna take to the bank? That's gonna take down this week in our little conviction draft here.
I'm gonna take Kyler Murray.
You're gonna take Kyler Murray.
Yep.
All righty, Dan. What about you?
Leonard Fournette.
No, quarterback.
QB.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for listening here. I'm sticking with Dak Prescott.
And I'm gonna go with Josh Allen. All righty, let's go move over to running backs. This week, I can see a reason to pay up for any of the top guys. I think there's one guy who really stands out to me, who I really think is he's just gonna eat all day because there's nobody taking touches away from him. And Dan, you just mentioned him, Leonard Fournette. I think he is a lock in cash games, GPPs, and any head-to-head, whatever you want to do. I would seriously consider you put Leonard Fournette in one of your RB slots. Anybody disagree? Dan, I know you don't. How about you over there? You're not a Fournette fan, so I'm interested to hear a counter argument.
I'm gonna chase the points.
You're gonna chase the points this week?
I'm gonna chase the points in the running back, and I'm gonna do the hot hand, as it's been every fucking week.
All right.
And that's Cook.
You're going Dalvin Cook. I like Dalvin Cook this week too. I think he is.
I mean, your two big choices in running backs, in my opinion, this week is, I mean, you can't. Well, you can't. No, you can't play Christian McCaffrey, so he's out this week. You got Dalvin Cook, and I really like the whole David Johnson thing at the Giants.
The only thing that concerns me about Johnson is the health of his back.
It's questionable, understandable. I know it's
and again, it was the same thing last week, and I faded him last week, and it bit me in the ass, and I should have played him because he ended up playing the whole game and having a dynamite game, and so did his counterpart. Someone help me out with the counterpart's name.
I can't give you that.
We talked about him last week.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
It'll come to me, and I'll just blurt it out at some point. Dalvin Cook, I like is a decent play. I even see a reason you can go up and pay up for Saquon Barkley. He's back. He's healthy. It's Arizona. I can see him having a floor of 10 and a ceiling of 40.
Yeah, that could be. It is Arizona.
I mean, it's Arizona. Other plays I like Chris Carson against Baltimore. They just seem to be a complete disaster. I brought it up before. I like Devonta Freeman. My other lock for my cash and GPP plays.
MG2? Am I too?
Nope. Josh Jacobs, Oakland. Green Bay can be run on. It's been proven week over week over week. I see Josh Jacobs as a mid-range guy who can create some kind of salary relief for you.
I have him in my slot.
I like both Jacobs and Derrick Henry at exactly the same price, the 10-6. And
I'm just not on Henry. I can't believe. Maybe it's just because every time I've ever played Derrick Henry, he's just burned me.
Yep.
And I know amnesia, and I'm the biggest person who touts amnesia out there and talks about amnesia out there, but I just can't buy into him. That Tennessee offense is just a fucking disaster. There's like nothing good about that entire team right now. Maybe different with Tannehill now. I mean, it could be interesting. I mean, you got Tannehill who can actually throw the ball and has vision down the field and can do his progressive reads, and maybe the run sets up the play action and they can get something going. I get it there, but I'd rather save myself $600-700 and go down and get Tevin Coleman against San Francisco at 9.9K. And not to mention, I'd rather even go down even further and pay $8,500 and take Latavius Murray.
Well, we did just hear that Alvin Kamara is ruled out. So
exactly that, and they signed somebody. I can't remember. I can't get his name. It is. I heard it today. I read it today, and I cannot remember it. And I don't have it in front of me to share with everyone. Latavius Murray at 8.5K opens up a whole lot of value right there.
That's true.
And then, the only other person mid-range over Derrick Henry, I'd still even rather save some money and go play Kerryon Johnson against Minnesota. I don't know why. I just think there'd be better opportunity there. It's just my opinion. It's where I'm at. It's how I feel. But I'm building my lineups pretty much with Leonard Fournette, Devonta Freeman, Tevin Coleman, Josh Jacobs, and trying to figure out how I can fit Saquon or David Johnson in. I'm not really on Cook, but I will take a couple shares of him because he hasn't done you wrong yet, and you're not getting burned.
Right. I mean,
he'll get value.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, he'll get you maybe 1.5 times value. He's not going to scream out like.
No, you're definitely spending a lot of money in all.
A lot of money for not a bigger return, coming from Saquon Barkley, who could rip off 40.
I'll throw one other name into the list that just kind of popped in my head right now. In the fact that it's going against the Dolphins and Devin Singletary is, returning after missing some time, and his ability to catch the ball as a pass catcher, and the Dolphins have struggled against that. 9,500 could also provide some salary relief. I don't necessarily think we need all that salary relief this week, but that's just another name to kind of throw out there.
My only question in that game with Singletary coming back is, are they still going to feed Gore?
See,
are they going to ease Singletary back in and maybe we're a week out? Or is it going to be a timeshare? Like it goes to the same question about, Green Bay. Do you play Williams or do you play Jones? Like where do you put your stock? It's like you go to New England. Do you play
You don't trust anybody in New England. That's the problem.
Which of the 4 running backs do they have? Do you put some trust in, And you can go down to Philly and say the same thing with Brandon Bolden and Howard and,
backfield by committee.
Yeah. I'd rather go take my money and spend 12.3K and go play Chris Carson. Just because I know he's going to get the lion's share. As long as he can hold on to the ball, he's going to get the lion's share of carries.
Yeah, that's a good play too. Not bad.
The one guy that... Even after what Chubb did last week against Seattle, I still can't seem to bring myself to get on the Ingram train.
Okay. In my lineups this week.
I don't have any kind of feeling or belief about playing Ingram against Seattle.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Chubb is that electric of a player and that much better of a running back that.
I mean, you could save yourself $100 and throw Carson in there or whatever the hell the price difference is on it too. It can't be much.
Chris Carson's 12.3K.
Okay, and Ingram is I have that up here. Where is it? Running backs. Where's Ingram? 11.9.
11.9. So yeah, you're saving yourself $400.
Pull him out of here and throw him in there.
Dan, how about you? Why don't you bring up some of those thoughts you have over there?
Well, we kind of hit the running backs that were covering them all. Should we jump onto the wide receivers and who we're passionate about?
Oh, wide receiver play. Actually, let's get our conviction play for running back here.
Dan, I threw up Fournette first, so and I don't know if we both can claim him, but that's and I totally agree with Cook. I mean, that's Cincinnati's just garbage against the run.
They are. Okay, Leonard Fournette goes to Dan. Webby, who are you taking?
I went with Dalvin Cook.
You're going Dalvin Cook?
You're not going Fournette then? I'll change my...
I'm going to go with... Ooh.
I already wrote his name in.
Josh Jacobs.
See, it's tough because I got like 3 guys on this list I could honestly make an argument for. I'm going to go Saquon Barkley.
Oh, you went Barkley. Okay, let me change it. I thought you would have went somewhere else.
Where'd you think I was going to go?
Chris Carson.
No, because I know no one's taking any carries away from Saquon Barkley. Wayne Gallman's still in concussion protocol.
Yes, he is.
All right, moving on to wide receivers. Oh, boy. I have one really, really hot hand high play that I'm playing everywhere. He is a cornerstone of all of my lineups, and that's T.Y. Hilton.
Now you took mine.
I got T.Y. Hilton. I've got DJ Chark.
Don't you say
Baby Shark. DJ Chark. I like DJ Chark this week because Cincinnati's secondary is just terrible, and Fournette's going to run all over the place, which is going to set up the pass. Cincinnati's secondary is garbage. DJ Chark is going to eat this week. I'm going with the Baby Shark, DJ Chark. I also like 2 Coopers, 1 Cup. If you're going to take a share outside of the going with the mini stack of Rams, I would take Goff and Cup. I like that play. And I also like John Brown this week. I know you said Beasley, but I'm on the Brown train. I know he has a questionable tag, but I'm pretty sure he's playing. And I don't really see a reason why not to play him at 10.4K. He's reasonable in price. He's not Cole Beasley reasonable, but he is reasonable in price. And if you don't like that play because you want to play a Beasley and you want to go up $200, you could go to the other side of that game. Well, not that game. You can go over back to the Jacksonville-Cincy game and take Tyler Boyd.
You know, the name we've been getting burnt on is the Tylers.
I know.
All the Tylers. I mean, it's a good call. I'm not going to say it's not. It's a good matchup.
And my super value play of the week is Alan Lazard.
Okay.
That's $6,000. So if you want to get a piece of the Green Bay game, knowing everyone's fucking hurt, for $6,000, you can get a piece of that offense. It might not mean anything. It could end up being, I mean, he gets 1 catch for a touchdown. There's 7 points. He hit value. I mean, it's literally a dart throw, but it's not costing you anything and opening up. There's your Saquon Barkley, your Leonard Fournette, and potentially a Dalvin Cook. I mean, think about it.
Okay.
$6,000. Alan Lazard. How about you, Dan? Go ahead.
I want to say Robert Woods, especially we got some news that Desmond Trufant is going to be out, who's atrocious anyways against. I mean, that was a great matchup for him, but now Trufant's out, so you're going to get Kendall Sheffield, who's only been targeted 7 times this season. So I think Woods should be able to exploit that. I'm kind of like Robert Woods is, that the thing where it's hard for me to have that conviction with him because I have him on a season-long league and he just hasn't performed consistently from week to week. So I'm going to cop out a bit and to somebody who is, I know, going to at least get the targets, and that's Larry Fitzgerald.
I like it. I like Larry Fitz. I like Larry Fitz a lot.
Larry Fitzgerald, he took my guy. Took my guy.
I like Larry Fitzgerald a lot. I think I say it every week. He's a target monster. He is a top 12 receiver for this Kyler Murray offense. I mean, and without Christian Kirk, where are those touches going? Larry Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Okay, I will let you have your Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay.
Well, I'm taking T.Y. Hilton, so you can all.
Right, I know. So I'm negotiating this here, but I would take Michael Thomas also.
Hey, that's a good call, especially this week.
I mean, even against the Bears. I mean, he's facing Prince and McMurray.
Yeah,
McMurray. He's allowing about 1.82 fantasy points per target. So, and he's going to get a ton of targets. So I'll stick with Fitzgerald, but if you want Fitzgerald, I'll take Thomas.
No, you can take Fitzgerald. I was, I mean, I got my stack of guys here too. I'm also basing it off.
Dan's got Larry Fitz.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm also basing it off of a lineup. DeAndre Hopkins.
Ugh, going back to the well again.
Against Indy, I think it's a. I mean, last week wasn't a great showing, nor the week before. but I think this week is going to be a good week for him.
Oh boy.
And it's tough because they're away, and he don't see many. He catches more targets away than he does at home. Believe it or not. But
hey man, you
I like
do
it.
you.
Yep.
I don't feel that. He burned me last week. No bueno.
Yeah, it's a home game. Of course, you got burnt.
Of course. Anybody else that's sticking out to you? Any feeling about Adam Thielen?
I mean, I could change it and just take McLaurin.
I don't like the McLaurin matchup this week.
Still a good matchup. They still ain't got nobody out
I
there.
don't like the McLaurin matchup this week against San Fran.
Yeah, and the only other issue with that game is the weather, I believe.
So you're going to take McLaurin against Richard Sherman?
Sure. Why not?
Interesting. How about Julio Jones?
Sherman got his ass smoked 2 weeks ago.
No, he didn't. He
Yeah.
shut down the Browns 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that was the Browns, right? I'm sorry. Wasn't it? It was 3 weeks ago then. Oh, that's a long time. That's amnesia.
Julio Jones, Adam Thielen, Tyler Lockett.
Did them Tyler names again?
Any love there? How about Kenny Galladay?
No.
Well, across from Lockett, I think, DK Metcalf, with the Ravens acquiring Marcus Peters, you're not sure exactly, it's kind of a very similar situation there. And even if Peters plays, I mean, he's been giving up 2.25 points per target. So Metcalf could have some serious big play ability in that game.
I don't. I was going to get to him as one of my cheap value plays outside of Lazard, but yeah, I'm. That's kind of where I'm at. We got our conviction plays. All right, let's move over to tight end here.
Who would you say? Lazard? What's his first name?
Alan.
Alan, thank you.
No, he's not my conviction play.
Oh.
T.Y. Hilton's my conviction.
Oh, you're going T.Y. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
All right, tight ends. I think there is literally 3 tight ends that I'm looking at this week, and
I'm just writing mine in now.
And I'm not hunting, and I'm not throwing anything in the kettle.
Webboy, you should go first. We'll give it to you.
Okay. Andrews.
Took mine.
Mark Andrews
Yep.
is probably the tight end to play this
Yep.
week.
I agree 100% that he's one of my 3.
Yep. Yeah, I think you'd be crazy at the price points across all.
9.3K on fantasy draft is Mark Andrews.
4,900 on DK.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's dirt cheap. And you want to know where else you can go to? Darren Waller.
Waller, another guy.
Because I believe who's their young wide receiver?
Oh,
It's not Zay Jones, who they just signed.
No.
It's Williams.
killing me. Absolutely, I'm drawing blanks again. Killing me.
I will go find it.
Yeah, that's what I was looking to do. What game is that?
Oakland.
Renfro?
No.
No, we were talking.
He's not playing. He's not even on the list.
Nope.
Which is strange.
Forno?
Which is strange. He's on one of my fantasy teams. Tyrell Williams?
He's out.
Yeah, he's out. Tyrell Williams is who I was thinking of. Yeah, where are those targets going? Waller.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where I would go with that.
Let's see that. We also see Jacoby Jones having a big day there, too.
That's why I put him up there.
Yeah, I got him in a lineup.
All right, Dan, how about you?
Hey, if you give it to me, I'll take even Ingram against the Cardinals. That's all day long. I just don't see if you can fit him in a lineup. Why pay anybody? Play
My
anybody
only
else?
problem with Evan Ingram is his price tag of 12.4K. 12.4K.
Yeah, I know.
I would rather go down to a Mark Andrews at 9.3K, take my $3,100 and go up and running back, who is going to, you pick the right running back, is going to guarantee you that fantasy draft bonus. You're not going to get a fantasy draft bonus out of Evan Ingram at 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. You're going to
But
get.
he might have 10 catches for another 10.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get that 40 points that you're going after.
I'm not okay. Let's see.
Never getting 40 points out of a tight end anyway. especially.
We did get
But you could
31
have 40
points one
points.
week and 26 another week. So,
I'm not saying
and again, you're asking for my conviction play and not necessarily my lineup build play, which I do have in my lineup build play. But my conviction play against the Cardinals defense is Ingram.
all right, Webby, you went Mark Andrews?
Yeah, I went Andrews.
And Dan is going Evan Ingram. I'm going to go. I'll take the Darren Waller train. At that 8.7K price tag.
All right, should we recap what our 4 conviction plays are each?
I can do that.
Okay, I've got Prescott, Fournette, Fitzgerald, and Ingram.
You went with Fitzgerald.
All right, and let's just be clear, we're using fantasy draft scoring. So next week, come with your score and your total, and we'll see who wins each week, and we'll do this for the rest of the season to see where we net out. I have Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, T.Y. Hilton, and Darren Waller.
I have Kyler Murray, Dalvin Cook, DeAndre Hopkins,
And Mark
Andrews.
They're all solid. I'm very curious to see what happens here. So what happens if you lose? Let's go down that road. Like,
You
do you get ridiculed and shamed?
You get put on the Hot Mess Express.
Oh, you get your own. Do you get your own car?
No, you're up in the front there with AB.
Oh, come on, man.
No, that's totally different. That's ESPN. Come on, man.
Oh, okay.
That's totally different.
All right.
You get to be put in the free AB car.
All right, let's go build ourselves a lineup for this week over here in fantasy draft.
Nobody mentioned what it could be. Well, you know what? I'll bring it up when we build our lineup here.
All righty, here. Let's start this off. Quarterback. Where are we feeling? Where are we going?
Well, just to let you know, I threw in. I have one open here. I have 3 players in it based on the conversation we have so far, and that's Fournette, Jacobs, and Dalvin Cook.
All right, well, you got to throw T.Y. Hilton in there then, too.
I have T.Y. Hilton in there.
Okay.
Right, so we're going. I got to find this now.
All right, so we're not going Saquon Barkley, huh? I mean, all the hype.
He may end up in there.
I mean, here's a running back nobody mentioned, and I think it's a
I mentioned him.
I didn't say that. Let me finish. Here's a running back nobody mentioned, which probably has one of the best matchups of the week. Matt Breida.
No, because I mentioned Tevin Coleman because he's the goal line back.
Yeah, but Breida's going to break out all over the
He may
Giants.
get his touches, but I think Tevin Coleman's going to snipe all the touchdowns.
He can snipe him. Breida's going to run for 100 plus.
Maybe. Fournette, Jacobson, who?
Cook and T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton. We're bleeding money fast. I'm going to say Waller because we need to save some cash here. Shift from that. Webby, you want to throw out a wide receiver, flex, or QB?
I just entered into that contest. I was trying to build a new lineup here. Create a new lineup. I mean, I like the Larry Fitzgerald move.
Fitz?
I like Fitz. I mean, I know he's pricey.
He's cheap. He's 10-9. It's still cheap.
Yeah, he's pricey, but...
why don't we go get defense out of the way and see what kind of real cash we have left to play with here? We know we need $10,000 for QB, so...
You mentioned Waller at 8,700. Would you rather have Waller or... I mean, Andrews is only 600 more in the matchup in terms of defending tight ends is far better.
Yep.
All right. I can go Andrews. Let's get defense out of the way here. I'm going to propose San Fran. I'm going to propose
I think it's worth it to pay for him. I hate paying up at defense.
Giants, Arizona.
How about Tennessee Titans?
Let's do this. Let's throw San Francisco in, and then if we're like, man, we really need a few extra $100 for somebody, then we can pivot off.
Fair enough.
Because I see the possibility of the 49ers scoring 20 to 30 fantasy points is a real possibility against Washington. I mean, the Giants just did it 2 weeks ago.
This is true. All right. Quarterback or flex?
Well, we go QB, and we won't do Prescott because I have him in the article.
Josh Allen, Jared Goff, Jacoby Brissett, Daniel Jones, Mitch Trubisky, who's gonna play,
Joy,
Ryan Fitzpatrick, AJ McCarron. Where is Tannehill?
Tip way down, minimum, 10 grand. He's underneath Taysom Hill.
Ryan Tannehill. Wow. Chargers have the 8th ranked opposing DVOA defense. Really?
Chargers are horrible. That's why you take Tennessee's defense.
I think he gets so burned, though. I mean, I can see him shutting down the run, but they can't defend the pass worth of shit.
I think the last couple of weeks we try to be tricky at quarterback, and it really hasn't paid off for us.
I agree.
And I kind of think, let's stick with a Matt Ryan. If you want to go up and figure out a way to get Russell Wilson or Kyler Murray or Lamar Jack. I just think we want a name that we are comfortable is going to get us at least 20 points.
What if we did... We're going to have money left over no matter what, aren't we? What if we do... So if Josh Allen... And that gives us with 10-4. And we go down... Can we get John Brown at 10-4? Zero money left on the table.
Who is our other flex player?
John Brown.
Why?
So the lineup is Josh Allen, Leonard Fournette, Josh Jacobs, T.Y. Hilton, Larry Fitzgerald, Mark Andrews, Dalvin Cook, John Brown, Niners defense. Why John Brown? Because John Brown is going up against Xavier Howard, who is garbage.
So is Brown.
How can you say that John Brown is garbage? He's lit up the fucking league this year.
I know. I'm busted.
Yeah, well, wait. But he hasn't had more than 5 receptions since week 2.
But he's also been injured, and so has the quarterback.
Right. So
but he's coming off a groin injury.
Yeah, he lit up the league. He's garbage. He's coming back off injury, and how many receptions over 5 weeks? 5.
Without a quarterback who's been out for 3 weeks.
Oh, who's his quarterback?
Josh Allen.
Okay. So you're going for the stack with Allen. I'm going to flop this around and I'm taking Kyler Murray to stack with Larry Fitzgerald, and I'm throwing Cole Beasley in my slot. Flex.
All right.
I actually think I like Webboy's approach.
And
hold on.
I'm going to enter this lineup too and play 2 lineups.
Kyler Murray at 9,600.
Kyler Murray at 13-1, and if you take Beasley,
9,600 left on the table.
you can take Beasley and leave 400 on the table.
Well, what kind of running back can I get at 9,600? Why do I got to go Beasley?
You don't have to. There is
Right.
900. Beasley is 92. I just think his matchup might be good. Let me pull him out. What do we got?
Dalvin Singletary.
I saw Singletary.
9,500.
Yeah, Singletary. I mean,
Where's the New Orleans running back?
Latavius Murray.
where can you get Murray? I don't even see Murray's name here.
He's 8,500.
I mean, take 8,500 and go Carlos Hyde.
Yeah, but Latavius
well-
Murray is the guy. I mean,
Yeah,
right? This
Yeah,
week.
that's true. So then, okay, so you throw Murray in, and now you can drop out. You wanted to buy up on
Against
defense.
Chicago?
See, that's the other issue. I mean, it is Chicago, and I really don't think the Saints win that game. I think they take their first loss with Bridgewater at the helm.
See, you know what I'm going to do? We got Josh Jacobs.
I mean, you can throw it, and then
Do you
what?
go Joe Mixon?
Oh, God.
No.
Burn City.
I tried to cut him this week, and I couldn't find anybody worth cutting him for. I mean, I'm willing to do Webby's conviction play here, Matt Breida. Or Tevin Coleman.
Yeah.
Frank Gore, John Brown, Calvin Ridley, Eckler, Derrick Henry at 10-6.
Let's pull defense out.
Yeah, I mean, go down from San Fran.
16.
I really don't like Henry, but I mean, if he wins me money, I really don't care. What about
here's the thing about Henry. He's had at least 15 touches. I mean, that's a minimum for him for every game.
Cardinals 4,900. You can get the Giants D.
I like the Tennessee Titans at 5,900.
Yeah, but if you go Devonta Freeman at 11-2.
Where do you take Buffalo at 7,100?
If we take Devonta Freeman at 11-2, then you can take the Giants D against Arizona at 4,900.
We have 0 on the table.
Or you can take Arizona's defense at 4,600 and leave 300 on the table.
Take the Raiders defense and have even more money.
Or you could just punt it all and go with the Dolphins.
No. You know what? The Raiders actually have a better matchup against Seattle, who's been awfully
Raiders
horrible.
don't play Seattle. Raiders play
Green Bay rather. It's actually a better matchup.
Actually, I'm going to take the. I think I'm going to take.
What about the where's the Jacksonville defense at? Because Cincinnati just not only are they a mess,
$6,000.
their starting offensive guard just got suspended today.
I mean, throw Jacksonville at $6,000. I still don't know. 10-1. I don't think there's anybody worthwhile at 10-1.
Jacksonville's kind of tough. I mean, I know they're going up against Cincinnati, but
Kerryon Johnson.
They've had a tough
Against
schedule.
Mini?
They've done nothing. I mean, their biggest game was against Tennessee.
What about Allen Robinson against New Orleans?
Well, you like his volume there.
With Trubisky back?
Trubisky.
I mean, wrapped around Allen Robinson, you can go Kerryon Johnson, Matt Breida, Allen Robinson, Tevin Coleman.
Interesting.
I really wish I had the money for DJ Chark.
He's just a baby.
Baby Chark.
What about DK Metcalf?
11-3.
I like DK Metcalf's matchup this week.
11-3 takes me down to 4,800, which takes me to where I want to be with Arizona's defense against the Giants. Leaves 200 on the table, and that gives me a stack of Kyler Murray, Larry Fitzgerald, and Arizona Cardinal defense.
What about Michael Gallup at only 8,300 as a flex play?
Where do you go with the rest of your money?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, so Michael Gallup.
You're back up at like the spending. I can't even spend all the money on the defense.
3,200. Go off the Cardinals. Go to 7,100. That leaves 700 on the table.
That's too much.
That's too much on the table.
11-5 on the what do we got? 11-5. Aaron McLaurin. DJ Chalk.
That's I said DJ Chark. I like Chark's matchup more than I like McLaurin's matchup.
I get that.
Just because San Fran's defense, I think, is the best defense in the league right now. Without a doubt. And since he sucks.
Well, yeah, since he is horrible.
And you take DJ Chark, who is the favorite target of Minshew. And here you go. Kyler Murray, Leonard Fournette, Josh Jacobs, T.Y. Hilton, Larry Fitzgerald, Mark Andrews, Dalvin Coleman.
Dalvin Cook.
DJ
Chalk.
Baby Shark, and Arizona Cardinals defense.
How does Shark have...
How they're rating that, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Is it... The guy's 6 for 30. No, he's played 6 games, 30 receptions for 528 yards.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, okay, because last week he had a shit game.
Both teams had a shit game. Look at the score, 13-6. No offense did shit.
Defensive game. I watched the whole game. It was a great game.
Probably it was a great game for a defensive standpoint.
Yeah, it was a great game.
But Michael Thomas did nothing.
No.
Kamara did nothing.
Nobody did anything.
Yeah, nobody did nothing.
It was a great game. It was a defensive game.
All right. Do we have any objections to this? If not, I'm rolling it.
All right. So we were going with the Cardinals defense. That's the part that I'm like,
yeah, no, it's killing me that he went there with it. And I mean, I if you're going to do that, I would have went Tennessee then.
You can't afford Tennessee.
I know that. Sure you can. I mean, I like the DJ Chalk thing, though, but...
You can't afford Tennessee.
I know, that's the issue.
And I'm not paying $5,900, almost $6,000 for Tennessee's defense.
Did you not listen to a word Dan said before? We've been chasing the minimum amounts, and it has burned us.
But I'm not chasing a minimum amount. I'm looking at historic value of Danny Dimes throwing at least 2 to 3 interceptions a game.
Yeah, I get that. So there's 3 extra points from the 4 that they score every week.
2.5.
Thank you. Well, it gives them the 4 now. I mean, they have no defense. That's the problem.
I'm kind of in the mindset either you end up paying up for defense or you just don't care about it. And if we're playing the Cardinals, we just don't care. But I don't think you should. Well, I can make a strong case for San Francisco's defense this week, but I don't.
So I'll go back to San Francisco at 6,500, which leaves 9,600 on the table.
I like the Bears too.
And we go down to $9,600, and that puts us in the realm of Dalvin Singletary, DK Metcalf, David Montgomery, Joe Mixon, Marquise Goodwin, Auden Tate, Cole Beasley, Kenny Stills, Chase Edmonds. That's the guy I was trying to think of from Arizona.
Ah, Edmonds, right. Yeah. I mean,
Hunter Henry at 9,100. Mohamed Sanu at 9,100.
How about Chicago Bears defense and then Matt Breida in the flex?
I'd rather... So you're on Breida, I'm on Coleman. This is a very, very perplexing...
Tevin Coleman?
Yeah. Tevin Coleman.
Running back, 9,900.
Yeah.
And then I can...
The goal line back.
Yep. I see who you... I got you. Okay, my defense, where can I go then? That leaves me 6,200 on the table. That gives me Green Bay. Joy.
I mean...
Okay, what if...
Can you see Kerryon Johnson getting 2x value?
Yes, I can see Kerryon Johnson having a hell of a day.
I'm trying to find a way to solve our problem here. And that is, what if we're a little off? Like, how committed are we to Fitzgerald if we were to put a cheaper wide receiver that we like in that spot, and then we have more money to go up and get a flex running back, like a Chalk or a...
If you're taking Fitzgerald out, then you got to take out Murray.
You might as well take the quarterback out too, then.
You're not
all right, then you're backing all up. Okay.
I mean, and I don't have a problem with that. But, I mean, you got to have some sort of, even if it's I don't even want to call it a mini stack. It's a tiny stack with 2 players. That's a tiny stack.
Okay, so what if we go to Derek Carr? Not Derek Carr.
Oh, don't even say those words. That's like blasphemy.
What if we go to Goff at 11.7? That saves you money.
Horrible.
What we could actually cheaper is...
The ice is 11.4.
Yeah, I take Matty Ice over Kyler Murray then. Now I'm pulling Fitzgerald out.
But
Yeah,
you're running a naked Ryan.
not necessarily.
Right, I was going to say, not necessarily.
Well, if you give me Freeman, then yeah.
Is Freeman the best play in that game? No.
No.
Right.
But you ain't paying. We don't have the money to go and get Julio.
He's down by the schoolyard. I'll go get him right now. All right, where are we here? That's the Atlanta game, right?
I mean, you got Julio Jones, who's a good play, and I don't even think Hooper's a good play this week.
Oh, Calvin Ridley.
Actually, Hooper's a very good play this week.
So it would be Calvin Ridley in that game over Julio. At 10-5.
I can see Ridley. I'll go. You could talk me into Ridley for sure.
He's got just as many points.
All right, so if we go Matty Ice, and we go
Ridley.
Now,
and we stop San Francisco defense in there. Now we have 11-7.
Hold on, let me throw. Oh shoot. Okay, so what'd you say? We're running San Fran's defense at 6-5. It's 14 points. I'll take that. All right, gives you 11-7 on the table. I see that. 11-7. You're Alshon Jeffries.
No.
Against Dallas all day long.
I mean, now you got your Terry McLaurin, you got your DJ Chark. Brandon Cooks, you could get your Devonta Freeman too at 11-2. Leaving 500 on the table. I'd be okay with that. I think Freeman has a great matchup this week.
Going up against?
The Rams.
No. Oh, yeah, okay. I hate the Rams this week. Where is Freeman? How much?
11-2. And then you get a stack of Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, and Devonta Freeman.
That actually makes a lot of sense in terms of you've got multiple options down at the goal line.
All right, you talk me into it.
See, people, this is what a whole conversation of lineup construction goes for on DFS Fantasy Foreplay. We started in one place and we end up in another.
Damn.
So we're at, I'm okay with this. Matt Ryan, Leonard Fournette, Josh Jacobs, T.Y. Hilton, Calvin Ridley, Mark Andrews, Dalvin Cook, Devontae Freeman, 49ers defense.
Another $100 and you can get the Buffalo Bills defense.
But then we're swapping somebody out. And you know what?
I'm good with this.
Yeah.
You go down from Andrews to Waller, then you can do whatever you want. You're saving another $500 or $600.
I don't have that much more confidence in the Bills defense than I do the 49ers defense.
I don't either. I like this. You can sign me up for this.
Yeah, I like it.
And even looking at defense, I'll be honest, I was not aware of the amount of touches that Freeman is getting. I mean, he hasn't gotten over 20 each week, but he's been in the high teens several times.
So here's the lineup on screen now that I built, my personal lineup. And it's Jared Goff, Leonard Fournette, Josh Jacobs, Cooper Kupp, T.Y. Hilton, Darren Waller, Saquon Barkley, Alan Lazard, and Bills defense.
The lineup I have, Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Matt Breida, T.Y. Hilton, Terry McLaurin, Evan Ingram, Alshon Jeffries, Mark Andrews, Tennessee Titans defense.
I mean, they're all decent lineups. I mean, I threw a dart with Lazard, just getting a piece of that game.
You know what?
And and I think his low ownership is going to very much benefit me. I mean, what is he going to be owned? Less than 1%, 0.1%.
Probably
0.5% maybe ownership.
Maybe 3. I mean,
I mean, that's enough to give me just a little push if he goes out there and puts up 12 points. That's 2x value right there. I would be 18 points. That's 3x value. I'm ecstatic at that point.
I mean, what did I have last week ownership wise? Muhammad Sinn at 3%. Okay, that bombed. Austin Eckler was only 9% left. That bombed. Tyler Lockett, 6% owned.
Barely reached value.
No, he reached value. Don't
barely.
Say how barely?
12,100. He scored. He
12
got you
It's value.
0.7.
That's value.
Ooh.
It's value.
0.07% value. Ooh.
It cashed out. That's all that mattered.
No, Matt Ryan is why you cashed out. At
Well,
his
Nick Chubb is why
at
I
his
cashed out.
12,000 price tag, he got you 2.75% value.
Yeah, so did Chubb.
Nick Chubb at 13,000 got you 2.7% value. Austin Hooper at $9,000 got you 3x value.
Julio Jones 1.4, 1.3.
1.5% value.
But yeah, I mean,
that's where it's at.
Yeah, and I like where you're going with it, though. I do like that. You're right, because maybe Lazard gets 0.3.
And
maybe.
again, it's a large field, 12,000 player GPP.
Yeah.
We're not mass entering this. We're each putting in a personal lineup, and we're putting in a team built lineup.
Right.
So if our team built lineup hits, we're either all going to enter it and we're all going to split it, or we're all going to fail. That's kind of the way we roll.
Yep. And my personal lineup is, the article lineup is Prescott, Cook, Fournette, Hilton, Gallup, stacked with Prescott, even Ingram, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, 49ers defense. So a lot of similarity there.
Yeah, it's core value. It's core plays.
And I'm throwing this lineup in there.
We got Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Matt Breida, T.Y. Hilton, Terry McLaurin, Evan Ingram, Alshon Jeffrey, Mark Andrews, Titans defense. Your other lineup is Matt Ryan, Leonard. That's
our
the lineup
lineup.
we just
I'm
built.
going to enter both.
All right.
I do think that this weekend, as opposed to the last one, is going to be a high-scoring weekend.
How did you feel last weekend? Like, did you go out on Sunday and just build some other lineups just for the sake of building some lineups on Sunday?
Yeah.
No, I've typically been doing 3 lineups. The one in the article, the one we just did on the show, and then if I see some breaking news, then I might use that to build another lineup. So I was really kind of looking what was happening with the backup running backs, and ended up going with the Cardinals backup running back because David Johnson wasn't playing, and nothing worked out there in terms of these guys are a low price for getting opportunity.
All right, fair enough.
I don't think it was the Cardinals one. I'm sorry, it's the Rams back who got 40 yards. I was so excited because everything hit in the morning, and he got off to a hot start, and then it just stopped.
So Webby doubled down on a lineup here, and he has to build himself a new lineup. Dare we help him?
Sure.
He's got Kirk Cousins in as his QB right now. Why don't you pair him with Thielen?
That's what I was thinking.
I do not think this is a Stephon Diggs week, so I would go pair him with Adam Thielen for sure.
Where's the Minnesota game?
And you have Cook in the lineup too?
He hasn't got. He's so far. He's got He's got his QB.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look here. I mean, can we squeeze Dalvin Cook in there?
And go take Adam Thielen.
There's your stack in.
Let me look at who has the best
wide receiver
back matchup for Minnesota. I don't really like Cousins this week at all, but you're playing him, so let's try to help you out.
It's Thielen for sure who has the best matchup, but it's not a Diggs week at all. So Thielen at 12.9.
Same price as Stephon.
Yeah, I think Thielen has a much better matchup. Do you want to know who the matchup is?
Yeah, do you have that?
I can give that to you. Hold on. So Minnesota. Wide receivers. Adam Thielen's matchup is against Rashard Melvin. He has a plus matchup. Stephon Diggs is going up against Darius Slay. You don't want any part of that. And Olabisi Johnson is going up against Justin Coleman, who Lazard went up against last week and just outplayed. But Coleman is by far the best slot corner in the NFL right now. So your best play is Adam Thielen. How much value do you have here?
Can't squeeze Michael Thomas.
If you put Lazard in a flex, you can.
I could do that too, huh?
I don't like that. I would stay away from that game personally.
It's tough. There's so many guys out in that game for the Saints that Michael Thomas should have a huge day.
And they're also playing the Bears, who's the ninth-rated defense.
Got a good D, and we're and the Saints know what they're doing. I mean,
I'd rather save yourself some money and go down and either play someone from the Rams game, like Cup, Woods, Cook.
How you saving money there? Michael
Go
Thomas
down.
is 14. Cup is 14.
Okay, what's Cook and Woods?
I don't even
I think
know.
Woods is 11.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got to be down there.
I think Cooks is the one who's going to eat this week. Personally, that's just a gut feeling.
What, Brandon Cooks?
Yep.
Oh, how do you trust him though? That's the problem. I mean, you don't. You don't. It's amnesia, right? You could throw Collar down. Let's see. Kirk Cousins down.
Hey, you can get your Larry Fitzgerald for 10-9.
Could do that. I don't want to have the same. I mean, I don't mind having.
You don't have the same
exposure.
anything right now. Go take Waller. Save yourself some more cash.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's see. LL, right? And Waller, 87. Throw him in the flex. What does that leave me here? I got 10-7 to play.
I would take out Andrews and play Waller, and save yourself that $600. If you want to fit Thomas, you're gonna have to give up somewhere.
All right, let's pull him out and see what happens. I'm gonna go and take a defense right now, and I'm definitely going to take the Bears.
So then you don't want any part of Mike Thomas.
Yeah, I do. I'm not. They're gonna
take Waller out of your flex and put him in as a tight end.
Can I move him up?
No,
but you can't do that.
No,
that's kind of stupid. But see, you can go the opposite way with Michael Thomas. He's going to give you 20 points anyway.
He didn't last week.
All right, he's giving you 23 average all year long.
I'm just saying. I don't like the matchup.
I know you don't like the matchup, but who else do they have to throw to?
Let's see who his
Jared
matchup
Cook.
is.
I mean, maybe it's another week for Jared Cook. No Tre'Quan Smith.
I mean, Michael Thomas is going up against Prince Amukamura, and it's a pretty even matchup. Ted Ginn is going against Kyle Fuller. It's a terrible matchup.
And Ted Ginn's terrible anyway. I mean, he has his week, which I think he had already.
So if you're prepared for a floor of about 5 points and a ceiling of 35 points, do your average. What are you getting? 19 points? 18 points?
Yeah, okay.
That's what your average for Mike Thomas might get you. Can't guard Mike.
Can't guard Mike. That's the whole thing right there. Can't guard Mike. Yeah, I don't trust Todd Gurley this week at all. Throw Alshon Jeffries in.
I don't
where
like
we're
that.
at. I just want to see where we're at.
You go back to him every week. I would rather play Baby Shark over Alshon Jeffrey.
Go Shark in there. I'm just looking at players right now to match up here.
Can you fit Fournette?
Where is Fournette?
13. 12-9. Leaves you 8,200 for
a flex spot.
Latavius Murray.
Which might not be a bad move.
I think he's 8,500. I don't know who's in the $8,200 range. That might be a good fit for you there. Carlos Hyde, 8,500. Go off your Bears. What do you have there? 5,600?
Yep.
What's in that range?
The Saints defense.
Safety. Hey, that's not a bet. We played that theory a lot last year where you take the defensive running back on the team and it had paid off a whole lot more than it didn't. So I mean, you're not out of the realm of.
It's actually from somebody, I think it was 4for4 did a study on this, and the wide receiver quarterback matchup is by far the number one wide receiver, the quarterback is by far the best stack percentage wise, and the second best was running back defense.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah. All right, so Webby, why don't you give out your famous picks of the week?
Oh yeah, am I logged in?
Do more better than last week?
Yeah, I'm hoping to do more gooder.
Picks of the week.
Yeah, how come I'm not getting? I'm only getting.
We need a sound bit for that. Picks of the week.
Yeah, we do.
With Webboy.
Hold on. Let me log in here because I'm not getting my. Okay. NFL. Giants Cardinals game is only a +3.
There's a lot of trap games this week, bro.
This is definitely a trap game. And I know we talked quarterbacks, wide receivers. No, we didn't talk wide receivers. Quarterbacks and running backs from the car. Oh no, wide receivers also. If I'm going to bet this game, I like the under. I don't think Daniel Jones is going to find the end zone as much as everyone seems to think. I can easily take the money line at +138 right now. Over and under is -110 both ways. It's 110 everywhere, every game. That's just the way the over and unders are. And if you, I would stay away from the point spread. At 3, I don't like it. I'm not sure how I feel about if it was a little more than 3, I might be happier with it. I mean, you could tease it up. Niners all day long, across the board. Give the 9.5 points. Take the over of 41 and drop the 420 on the money line. I mean, over and under is 41 in that game. 41.
Well, think about it.
Disgusting.
Who do you have that's going to score the points? And what faith do you have in those individuals is where you need to break that down.
Redskins defense is horrid.
Okay, so do you think San Fran scores 41 all by themselves?
No, I think Washington pulls up 10.
So 31, 30, 32, 10. That's what you need.
Yep. I think that's very possible. I think Breda has
31-14.
I think Breda has a great day, and whatever wide receiver.
Kittle has a great day.
Kittle too. I think both of them. Take the Bills all day long. Give the 16.5 points. Don't care about Fitzmagic or anything else that might be happening down in Miami. If you don't trust that, just take the Bills on the money line and make no money because it's -1,000. But Miami,
so
Miami don't win.
$10 gets you a penny.
I had to get you $1. Get you $1.
A dime gets you a dime?
Something like that, yeah. Green Bay Packers over the Raiders. Again, no money to be made there, -220.
What's the line on that?
4.5.
I think that's a trap game. I agree with what our boy over at Fantasy Jibber Jabber.
Yeah, it's a tough game because Green Bay really don't have that many people left to throw to. So they're going to definitely rely on running the ball. Alan Lazard is what the play is all day long.
Lazard.
Falcons over the Rams +3. Over and under is 55. You make the decision. Take the money line on the Falcons. The Rams,
train wreck.
Right. They don't look good from week to week. If they lose this game, I can guarantee you I will be putting that entire organization up there in the first car with AB.
And you will be drinking some Fireball, if I remember correctly, as well.
For
picking the Rams to win the NFC West.
They're not mathematically eliminated yet. Yes.
Just start thinking about it.
True.
And remember who your boy sitting across from the table for you picked to win the NFC West.
Yes, yeah. The Falcons.
Nope.
Who?
The 49ers.
Oh, Niners, right. I think the solid bet of the week is Houston Texans and the Colts game.
Another trap game. It's a division game.
Yeah, it's a division game, yeah. But
it's a trap game.
I'm taking...
Every game this week is literally almost a trap game. Look at the lines. Outside of the Buffalo and the San Fran game, you tell me a game that can't go either way.
Oh, it can go either way, especially at +1. I'm taking Houston at +1.
On the road or at home?
On the road.
So you're saying Indy's going to lose at home?
I'm hoping I get the push on that. Either way, it's probably a push. Whether I'm giving one or getting one.
And it blows your parlay.
It's a push. Shut up. I think that game most likely is going to be under 47.5. And it's
getting to the time of the year that betting the under is the smart play all the way around.
Getting colder.
Yep.
It's getting colder.
It's not going to be the smart play. Blanketly go and bet the under on every game.
Colts playing a dome, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Jaguars-Cincinnati game +4, or the line is 4. I don't know if I like this game at all.
Jags all
Well, Jaguars
day.
should win it.
The resurgence of the stash. Throwing to the baby shark, creating tornadoes.
So you like the Minshew? Is that it?
I think Minshew is a sneaky play, actually, this week that nobody's going to be on after the stinker he did last week.
Oh, last week was horrible.
You play Minshew against this Cincy with Chark and Fournette. O'Shaughnessy at tight end, stack that shit. Nobody's going to be on that and see what happens.
That's if O'Shaughnessy's brain is still like solid in his head. Because he's
I'm
only
just
putting up
saying.
8 points a week.
But that's all you need if you're playing a GPP and nobody's on that and their tight end throws a two-burger.
Mike, the Minnesota Vikings over the Detroit Lions.
You hate when I talk insanity.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I like the Vikings in this game. I'll give the 2 points. I'll take the over and the money line. Taking the Vikings across the board. Lions, they
Tigers and Bears, oh my.
They don't have it all together. They've got the pieces, but they don't have it together.
They should have won that game last
Yeah,
week.
they should have, and they should have won the week before that too, or the week before that, or whatever.
They should have beaten Arizona and
Tennessee Titans over the Chargers.
Ryan Tannehill to the rescue.
I really don't care if you put.
I think I take the over in that game.
Yeah, I'm taking the over, and I don't because it's only the over and under is only
How
41.
can you say you're going to take the over on that game when you guys lost to a team that got destroyed by a backup quarterback last night? The Denver Broncos.
The Broncos look good.
Broncos look like garbage.
Broncos have been turning it up.
Oh, yeah. Whole 6 points last night.
Yeah.
That's really turning it up, bro.
Turning it up. And it really wasn't a backup quarterback. It's Matt Moore.
He's a journeyman backup quarterback.
Yeah, all these. Well, let's see. Where do they all come from? Besides
Miami.
Chicago, Miami,
And Jacksonville.
Miami, Chicago. Matt Moore, Chicago.
No, Miami. Matt Moore, Miami,
Okay. Yeah.
and Jacksonville.
Yeah. Dan, you're right. Titans across the board on that. Over and under is 41. Chargers are just horrible right now.
No O-line.
No line. Phillip Rivers, how many sacks? He's getting his ass handed to him. Or he's hurried, or he's knocked down, or he's pushed back, or he's just running away.
Or he's Phil Rivers and likes to throw to the other team.
Well, true that. Yeah, I mean, you can take the money line too. It's minus 139, which isn't bad, but definitely the over on that and give the 2.5 points. Saints Bears, staying away from it. They pushed the line to 3.5. I think it's going to be a 3-point game, and I don't know which way it's going to go. That's going to be a close game. You've seen the last 2 weeks. Saints can't find the end zone. Everything's a defensive game. I don't understand how, Can't Guard Mike is putting up his 22, 23, 24 points a week in fantasy. I guess it's all on yardage because he's not finding the end zone. If you've got the balls, take the money line on the Saints at plus 170.
I throw $10 on that.
Yeah, plus 170. Over and under is 37.
Give me $17.
Over and under is 37.5. So you can, take that quarter you have and flip it 10 times, choose heads for the over, tails for the under, and see what comes out. The 37.5, it's going to be a defensive game. That game could be another 13-6 or 19-10. I mean, you just don't know with that game at all. Ravens Seahawks, staying away from it.
Seahawks win that game, going away.
They're playing at home.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They win it going away. Like gate to gate.
I just don't like the game. I don't like anything about it. I don't even like the over and under at 49. Eagles Cowboys trap game. There's your big trap game of the week at 2.5 points. Over and under 48.5. Take the Eagles. Dak Prescott. Well, you got to see what Amari's doing. But he hasn't done anything when he played in the last, 2 weeks? Okay, last week he got knocked out. Week before that, what did he do? Did he have a good week? I don't remember. 19 points, maybe? It's not a bad week. I think the Eagles need that game more than they want to admit. And Dallas is a dumpster fire who has lost 3 games in a row and have put all their eggs
Another
in
division
Dak.
game.
Yeah, they put all their eggs in Dak's basket, and his basket
Dak
is...
and Zeke's been shut down.
Yeah, 3 weeks in a row he's been...
Reasonable
3 weeks he's been shut down.
He's been shut down to the point that he has not had the capability of being the Zeke that we all expect, like the Saquon Barkley everyone expects when Saquon plays. Go out there, catch the ball, run, create space, do things.
Monday night. This must be the lowest point spread for the Patriots yet at -9.5 to the Jets.
Because the Jets just beat
Dallas. Who's a dumpster
Only
fire.
reason why that line is as low as it is.
Dumpster fire. Well, also they got Darnold back, so that pushes the line. I mean,
okay. I gotta say, I just gotta say this. I understand Sam Darnold is the Jets guy.
Right.
But how many quarterbacks have come through to be the Jets guy? Do we remember Mr. Butt Fumble, who was the guy?
Sure.
And after him, who was it? Was the guy.
Butt Fumble guy.
Okay. After the
Geno
Butt Fumble
Smith.
guy. Oh, there you go. And then you have another guy who's the guy. I get I get the talent that Sam Darnold has, major league eclipses.
Yeah, he showed it last week.
And he has poise, and he owns the locker room, and maybe that goes so much further. I would be worried about the Jets if they had Herndon at tight end. If they had Herndon, Crowder, Robbie Anderson, and Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're talking an offense that you don't know what to cover.
Right.
Hunter Henry did last week.
I also forgot to mention the most impacted game this week by weather will be the Redskins game, 49ers Redskins. Redskins play outdoors, 59 degrees, rain the entire game with an 11-mile-an-hour wind. Going to rain the whole game. 90% chance of humidity. Going to rain the whole game. I think that's the only game that's really affected by weather this week. Cowboys, but they play in a half a dome, so that don't matter.
All right. Sneaky play of the week.
I wasn't prepared for that. Sneaky play of the week. Oh, God.
Mine's Cole Beasley with the matchup he has against Miami. I think he's going to have 7 targets at least. He hasn't found the end zone this year. I think this is the game he does.
It's funny you say that because like I said earlier, I like Beasley. I've got him in 2 of my lineups so far. I'm gonna jump on Ren's bandwagon, and I'm gonna say that Lazard move. I like it.
Could be super sneaky.
Talk me into it.
Could be chalky too.
Yeah.
Come Sunday though.
Well, yeah, it could be, but I like that. I like that. I also like Taysom Hill with 2 touchdowns this week. Passing.
Sneaky quarterback. The stash.
No, stash. No, Minshew's just no.
Minshew is going to come back with a vengeance, and he's going to show the porn world where it's at. All right, this has been DFS Fantasy Foreplay Week 7. Good luck, everyone. Win some money. Take our advice. You'll win money. We win money every week. With that being said, gentlemen, thank you so much. We will see you next week.